Good evening and welcome to Nightfall in Amsterdam. Tonight we are joining a fairly diverse group gathering for a event at the Sunken Norwegian, a old shipwreck that was towed into harbor, chained up there, and is now a floating theater. There are two above deck stages and two below deck stages. As well as numerous booths, that sort of thing. There is a couple of bars where they serve beverages only. Again, it is an old wood floating vessel, so cooking is a ongoing thing. As people begin to arrive, it has been kind of passed around the city that tonight is a supernaturals only event. The signs as you approach the boardwalk up say, private party, um, invite only. And there is a man at the door who seems to be screening everyone. The ship itself is fairly busy, um, although for as far as people of note, it's not as crowded. A lot of the people who are attending are those in the supernatural communities who kind of shuffle to the bottom a lot of times. It's an opportunity for them to mingle as well. And the proprietor, Stanford Blackburn, has made it quite clear that this is a neutral location. Anyone and everyone can gather here. No feuds or disagreements, that sort of thing, will be tolerated inside. So if you have dispute, you'll leave them at the door or you get thrown back out the door. I will turn it over to everybody to introduce yourselves as you guys are arriving. It is early enough that they haven't had any shows start yet, but so people are mostly just kind of mingling and talking and that sort of thing. And I know, Veronica, you are already present, and you were talking to a man who introduced himself um, as Marty Delafoy. You haven't had a chance to chat much yet, but you did at least get the pleasantries out of the way.
So we both had formalities.
Right.
Or just him.
No, you introduced yourself to him as well.
Okay.
But didn't really get a chance to dig into any conversation yet as other people started arriving.
Opal's not far behind her. Not so much as if they've come together, but more as if in matter of timing. I mean, she's wearing a sweater dress, much like she is in her picture here. She'll casually take a look around, and seeing the bar, will head straight for it.
I forgot to mention, if you guys want to assume you've had some contact with one another, you can. That's up to you. Being you guys are both new and of the same clan. Makes sense to me.
Okay. Samantha will roll on in. Same idea. The picture's on the side. She's wearing a dress, blouse, has a blanket over her legs. Is accompanied by a woman whose picture I can get. She will roll up the bar, get a drink, and she's looking around rather curiously.
Yeah, Air kind of walks in and kind of just starts looking around.
She would see Veronica.
Oh, good. Good.
She knows Veronica well enough that it's like, oh, she's being a Shadow Lord.
Right? Air will kind of give her a nod to give her space for a minute, but she obviously looks a little more relieved knowing that, at least from what she's heard, it's a little more ritzy than she's used to, if I recall.
Yeah. Air will notice that there is food already at the table. Out of the game, I blue booked ordering food.
Yeah.
It's only like calamari.
Miranda comes bopping in, kind of singing, humming her to herself, and she notices a couple people she knows. So suddenly, which one of you wants to be closer, Veronica or Air or Samantha?
Whichever.
Samantha suddenly gets
Okay.
almost tackled in her chair from behind with a big hug. Buenos
She,
días, chica. ¿Cómo estás?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, it is so good to be out of the house right now. You know, it gets a little kind of depressing living there sometimes because it's always dark inside, but I kind of need that for the special plants that I grow. But it is so good to be out. Do you know what they are doing showing tonight? Oh, there's Air. Uno momento. And she rushes off and wraps both arms around Air as well.
Air just kind of like stops. She's like, what? Oh, hi, Miranda. Hi.
Buenas noches. Tequila? Sí, no? And she glances over towards Samantha as she points to the bar.
Okay. She,
I prefer whiskey.
Oh, sí, no problemo. And Miranda's gonna get a few shots of tequila, a few shots of whiskey. Pass the whiskey to Air and slide a couple tequila over to Samantha and down a couple tequila of her own.
she will drink one.
So, hearing the redhead say, I prefer whiskey, Opal will just make her way over and slide right up in next to her. Really? Whiskey? I'm more of a bourbon girl myself, but I do enjoy a good whiskey.
Well, we all have our preferences, right?
Yes. Hi, I'm Opal, by the way. Your hair is gorgeous. And she looks at it like she's really, really, like, openly staring at your hair, Air.
Air kind of reaches a hand up into her hair and she's like, thanks, I'm Air.
So beautiful. Like the first rays of sunrise, or maybe the last dying rays of a sunset. So fiery.
Definitely fiery. She kind of smirks.
Veronica just gets a glass of water.
And there's a like as she is look, she's looking at her, kind of looking around at the other people and here now properly. She'll notice someone off by themselves and wave them over. Hey, come on, come join us.
Oh boy. Eric just kind of looks from side to side, like, oh boy.
Veronica raises her eyebrow at the like overly enthusiastic, bright smile.
Right? That's kind of why she's like, oh boy.
It out of game. It's making me think of Black Hole Sun video.
Hello.
Samantha waves.
Oh, you're Chrissy? Yeah, hey, I'm Opal. Yeah, I heard you were new, and I'm new, and yeah.
You're both new. Got it.
Yeah, I mean, what better way to get to know city by going to the parties, right? And I mean, especially when one of the first things you hear is, "Oh, there's a party going on," and "Oh, hey, you're not the only new person. You should head to this party. She'll probably be there." And lo and behold, I am, and I did, and here you are. Magic? No. More like more like fate. Right?
So at this point, I kind of saunter in through the door. I'm wearing like blue skinny jeans, blue gray top, and like a red maroon leather jacket, and I got like a short orange short haircut, orange shaved sides, and then just a plume of curls randomly, and I'm just kind of cautiously walking through and just trying not to draw attention to myself. And I walk towards the bar.
Miranda flashes her a smile, a very coy smile, and kind of gives her a little wink.
Eric's kind of looking over her shoulders, like searching for her whiskey. Like, where's my whiskey?
Miranda pushes it
Somehow,
around.
My character definitely trips over a step seeing that. Oh shit. No one saw that. No one saw that. Keeps walking.
Veronica just like continues drinking her water. Eyes
So
the new
much
person, seeing all the new people.
happy in this corner.
Samantha's going to
Eric-
eyeball the shot of tequila and decide if she wants to drink.
yeah, enthusiastically boring.
Well, what's your idea of fun?
My idea of fun. My idea of fun. This place is a little too public for, but if you know somebody who has some or something like that, and you want to have a more private multi-person party with some loud music and drugs and no clothes, give me a call.
This is Amsterdam. I'm sure you'll find something like that.
Samantha coughs into her drink.
Oh, you'll definitely find something like that around Amsterdam.
Hey, Opal, like she hears the call. Oh, honey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. Of course, you are more than welcome to join in too.
I'm fine with. Thanks.
Oh, okay. I don't discriminate based on, ability.
Aaron just kind of giggles at that point. Like, oh, poor Samantha.
You do not know what kind of ability she has, Chica. She could surprise you. Where she is lacking in some areas, she could make up for it in others. See?
And that's why I don't discriminate based on ability or
You're fine.
apparent intelligence.
Veronica Veronica tries to suppress a laughter.
Air does not suppress the laughter.
Samantha looks confused.
Oh boy.
Gwen is standing in a corner with a cup, just trying to look natural.
Miranda grabs one of her shots of tequila and hops off the bar and saunters over towards this lone person.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for the whiskey. Bye.
I'll be back, chica. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hi.
And she extends her hand towards you. My name is Miranda, and you are
Gwen. Shakes.
Gwen. Such a beautiful name for such a beautiful woman. Why are you hiding over here in the corner all alone?
First time at a place like this. Fairly new to the scene, if you understand what I mean.
Oh. So, which form of the not normal people are you, if I may ask?
You first. I don't
Oh,
trust you.
I am friends with the prince and some of his people, and I am more of a mystical blood prophetess, I guess you could say.
Ah,
See.
honestly, I'm not quite sure. I think I heard the word bruja, but not
I think
quite sure.
I've heard that name before.
Oh
So
shit!
you.
You're a bruja? Opal zooms over. You should hang with me.
Veronica looks at the one who said that and it's like, you're a witch?
Trust me, our bloodlines are like cousins.
Out of game, just reference that bruja, what it translates
Spanish
to,
for
rather
witch.
than know the claim. Yeah.
No, Miranda got that.
Not too familiar with what
Welcome.
is going on.
Have you been introduced to the prince yet, or?
No. Not even really sure who he is.
I am not sure if I'm allowed to say his name in like public places because he likes to keep some privacy. But he's very nice. I go and play in his forest quite often, and he was the one who led the thing back in December. Oh, that was such an amazing time. That woman is still following me. She's still there. See, it's very good though. Sí, muy bien.
Whew.
Come over, come on, come see the other people. We'll introduce you to everybody. I don't know who everybody is yet, but we are going to have fun.
Opal will lace her fingers in Gwen's, or lace her fingers through Gwen's and just lead her over to sit with her and Chrissy.
Gwen's like, oh boy, what's happening?
Veronica's both her eyebrows just go up here the high.
I wave. Hi.
Samantha waves.
Once again, the boring enters. So, you know what? I've got a deck of cards in my back pocket. Opal will pull it out. Why don't we play poker? We don't have chips, so we can play for clothes, jewelry, whatever.
Strip poker, muy bien.
That sound.
Okay.
As you're talking, you didn't, or you hear a click on the floor. As someone walks up, and a hand holds out a bag and drops it, and you can hear a metallic sound from inside.
Odd.
I'm assuming you turn to look to see who it is.
Yes.
This gentleman is standing there. He appears to have a walking stick, metal-tipped walking stick, and a number of rings on his hand. And he says, "If we are going to play, then let's at least play for interesting stakes."
Oh, you have my attention now. What kind of interesting stakes?
He kind of gestures to the bag with his walking stick, and as he hits it with the metal tip, you can hear a metal clink again.
You know.
Miranda's gonna open the bag.
Oh, go ahead.
He looks at you and he says, "Most of them are about 13th century Spanish gold, some late era."
There's a low whistle from her. Oh, man.
I'll tell you what, I spot the whole table, winner takes all. I can afford it, don't worry.
Sure.
Out of game, is he talking about like every player here, or just the table with the vampires?
Everyone who sat down to play cards.
Okay.
So,
Veronica's still
obviously-
gonna talk to Marty. I think his name was.
Yep. The man who threw the gold on the table looks over at, and I'm terrible with character names, so bear with me, over at Chrissy, and says, "Don't worry. It's a game of lying and performance."
Oh, that counts me out.
I'll just watch. I don't know how to play. Oh, okay.
He gestures and he says, "Look on the bright side. You're not going home any poorer if you lose."
Okay.
And
Hi,
he
man.
chuckles and he says, he kind of taps his cane on the table again, and he raises his voice and he says, "Wim, you'll be thrilled to know that we have an entire bag of relics here that we are using for barter and gambling. And someone's going to take them home and probably spend them recklessly." And you see another man over at the turn from up at the bar, and he just kind of spits and sputters a little bit. And it's not going to cooperate, of course. But he says, good. Again, Victor, do you understand how hard these people work to put those things in museums? I have professors who get grants hoping to find a handful of these coins. Where do you even keep coming up with these? And he just kind of smirks and he says, well, that would be telling, wouldn't it? And he sits down at the table, tips his hat back, and he says, if you'd like, I can deal.
Is this the same Tremere from the graveyard?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought.
No, this is the seneschal, although he hasn't told anyone that yet.
Still
Miranda
there?
takes us
Veronica will-
already.
Veronica will keep tabs on poker game and looks at Marty and Air. I believe we were having a conversation before all the smiley people came in.
So much smiley.
And Marty looks at you and says, oh, yes, but when you have a festival like this, it's bound to happen.
Oh, I'm sure.
Whiskey will save the night.
I think I'm going to take your suggestions with the virgin daiquiris.
Good call.
Marty raises a dark, like a dark green crystal wine glass, and he says, I prefer a strong red myself.
Oh. She smirks to that.
Eric kind of glances at the glass and, all right. Never makes you happy.
Usually I prefer beer. So they have theaters here, is what my understanding is too, correct?
Yeah, so I'm assuming you guys are all on the lower deck inside. They have theaters on, like stages on both ends.
Wonder if they have any horror shows or tragedy.
Are you saying that in character?
Yeah.
Marty kind of looks and he gestures around to the room and he says, well, I'd wager this could constitute a horror or tragedy.
Guess we won't know until the night ends, will we?
He looks up towards where you can see Stanford, the owner, walking around. He says, something tells me I don't want to cross that man or find out just how it is he intends to enforce his neutrality policy.
He must have a way, otherwise he wouldn't have opened the place for such a thing.
Yes, well, it's a bold claim to make.
Definitely is. Especially if it's just words and nothing more.
Well, I suppose that's also a bluff that's easy to make because not many are willing to test it.
Yeah.
He gestures and he says, for example, Victor over there is so confident that he's willing to snub another of his own group. Openly. To mock and make light of another in public is a rather bold move. Meanwhile, over at the poker table, Victor is explaining the basics of the card game. And he asks, just kind of goes around and asks how everyone's doing, what brings them out tonight, that sort of thing.
Uh, well, I'm new. I'm bored. This seemed like a good way to meet people and maybe find someone to party with. And so far, I found 2 candidates, and I don't know about you yet.
He looks at you and he says, we are playing poker with 800-year-old relic grade immaculate gold. And on top of that, I have made a point to rub the head of the clan Toreador's nose in it, as he's a archaeologist and art historian. He says, I don't know how much more of a party you want.
Oh yeah, that'd be grand.
He chuckles and says, I don't know that the man who brings the gold needs to pass a hat, but I suppose we might as well. And he kind of takes it, flips it across the table. And he takes one of the gold coins and he sets it on the floor. And he takes the metal tip of his cane and puts it right above it. And he says, Hey, Wim, you think this is pure gold? Nice and soft? And he drives the hard tip of his walking stick into it, and you can see it makes a visible dent in the gold. And the other man in his suit here just kind of eats, like he doesn't even have words. He's like sputtering as he sees this. And he picks up the coin, he looks at it, he says, Oh, I would say it's at least 80%.
Ah, looks like you do know the secret to a good party.
He says, Wim, if it makes you feel better, the king is 300 years old as well. So It's kind of the natural order of old things damaging one another over time.
Opal will turn to Gwen and whisper conspiratorially, "It's not really a party until one of the Toyota frenzies, and the higher up on the food chain, the better."
I nod. Thank you.
Yeah. Wim looks around the table and at everybody, and he kind of looks at them, and he starts to lean in. And Victor holds up a hand and he says, "Do not touch the suit. It's 400 years old. You wouldn't want to damage an antique."
Looks good for an antique.
And he just kind of Wim storms off, and Victor lets out a good laugh. And he says, "There is something refreshing about being able to make light of the politics."
You're sipping our whiskey, just listening to everything.
I'm sure Wim will hold a grudge. He'll be bent out of shape about it, probably for at least a couple decades. But the joy of it is when I leave tonight, I won't care. For me, it will be over.
Opal will pull out her phone, snap a picture, show it to her. "You look good." "Oh, do you have an Instagram? I'll tag you." And Opal will make the post.
She looks quite uncomfortable. Okay.
Veronica just sees someone being held with a wheelchair and starts chuckling.
Marty kind of looks at you and he says, "That's a calm night. She should be okay."
You're kind of chuckles. Oh, we'll see.
What brings you two ladies out? I'm sure you did not come just to have a drink with a old detective. I'm sure you're not hoping to hear war stories of past investigations. There's quite the card game going on over there, but I can't offer any such excitement.
I mean, good gossip here and there is not bad in hearing stories or people talking. Plus, this is different, this kind of theater. We don't have anything like this in America.
Live theater is a dying art.
Or even one on a ship this vast.
Yeah, it's definitely different than most other things around, too. What can I say? Curiosity is my reason.
He looks and he says, "Curiosity's killed a lot of rookie investigators in my experience."
It also killed cats.
Well, thankfully I'm not a cat.
I'm not either. Looks up, Marty. Are you a cat?
No, but I am an investigator. And moderating my curiosity is what has allowed me to be a long-lived one.
That is a very helpful ability. Veronica looks at Air.
Air just kind of looks at Veronica with a half a smirk.
Pretty much. She just says in the pack link, we found a detective, she says in the pack link.
Over the pack link. It's kind of a mocking tone. Like, oh my god! That's
Marty,
all she says over the pack link.
Oh, so she doesn't just say hi.
Oh no! See, Opal, lean over. Look, take a look at her hand. Oh no! See, that would have been a good hand if, you come by. I'll teach you how to play.
Veronica twitches.
Ooh. Ooh.
Victor kind
Veronica,
of
you've caught her eye.
chuckles and he says, "This is why I do wish Gunner would get out more often. He would be just a blast."
Air
at that
kind of just
party."
stops. Like, she's like, oh boy.
And he does have a talent for theatrics. He leans in closer to the table and he says, "Gunner is the Prince of Amsterdam, although it's kind of an empty title when he predates the Camarilla itself. More of a they need a label for me and I've ran this place long enough they don't want to screw with me type of thing."
Sounds like he's the real antique.
He chuckles and says, "Yes, I would say so, but he's kept himself remarkably fresh. Although I wish the man would get a cell phone. He's terribly cumbersome to get a hold of."
Oh well, maybe he just needs a better assistant.
Burn.
Miranda just kind of like looks over at her slowly, then looks back at the seneschal because she's been to court. She knows who this guy is.
Right, Air, that's why Air just kind of like stopped when they mentioned his name. Like, oh, this is gonna be interesting.
No, there are also benefits to encouraging him to maintain his traditions. They've allowed him to establish the hold he has. They resonate with certain supporters of his who see him as a bastion of the old ways. And he kind of chuckles and says, "And it irritates the young folks when they actually get a homing pigeon with an announcement for court rather than a text message."
Air kind of glances at Veronica and she's like, I'd rather a pigeon than a text message.
That just sounds cooler. I don't know. Maybe I am the weird one, but that sounds a lot cooler. What do you think, Chrissy? Pigeon or text message? Yeah, see, there you go. It's not stuffy or outdated. It's vintage. That's how you sell it to the young ones.
He has an
better PR team too.
he has a sword that tends to be highly effective PR.
Oh.
See, that sword is muy bien. I remember when I got to use it. Oh, just so powerful lifting that thing. Oh, it's muy bien.
Can't be very powerful if it's not here, can it?
Oh no, it's what I used to cut off the top of the fellow's head so that I could get to his brain.
Oh,
What?
yeah. Yeah, that is pretty edgy. So, what else do you all do for fun around here?
Read.
Blood orgy, make plants grow, uh, you know, the usual.
Blood orgies.
Oh, see, I'm told I'm very
my.
delicious.
I have to look into that. I've
Victor
never
says we prefer ritual to
one
the
of
word orgy.
Sounds like a bloody mess.
Sounds like a South Park episode.
No, mostly I've just been
Eris
to
kind
regular
of
orgies.
raises an eyebrow at Veronica because she has no idea what that means.
Veronica looks at Air. So there's an American show called South Park. Mostly it's vulgar and toilet humor, but later seasons they made it better than that. They have one episode where it's a holiday special with a plot twist where it's just these adorable holiday animals that do blood orgies. Literally. Go look it up.
Gwen knows exactly
You
what
are
you're talking about.
fucking weird.
So does Opal, actually.
See, Senor Seneschal, they do have the blood rituals, like when the prince was eating the man's heart before I cut off the top of his head so I could eat his brain. But no, these are just orgies with blood. Me Domador, she likes how I taste. Maybe that's why she keep me around for so long.
Samantha looks horrified and confused, and just decides to keep eating her sandwich.
I bet she does like how you taste to keep you around for as long as she has. How long has she kept you around? Out of curiosity.
Over a decade so far. Let's see, about maybe a little more.
Well, if all she's keeping you around for is your taste, you must taste pretty damn good.
Oh, see, I do.
Have you
I
tasted?
am very filling. See, off of her lips sometimes, off of other people's lips, off of their bodies. Blood just kind of occasionally gets much over all of the places, and you just go with it. See?
You should try it deliberately sometime. Doing it deliberately changes things a little bit. It's better when it's warm and fresh, not cooling off of somebody's skin.
Who said I was giving it any time to begin the cooling?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm just eating my sandwich and enjoying the
Eris
atmosphere.
kind of chuckling, watching Samantha, and she looks at Veronica. That poor woman needs a drink. Eris gonna kind of excuse herself for a moment and walk up to Samantha and walk up behind her and whisper in her ear, "Pick your poison. You look like you need a drink."
Do they have wine?
I'm sure they do.
That would be good. Thank you.
What kind?
Sweet red.
Sweet red. Okay. She will go and acquire poor Samantha a sweet red wine.
Fix, I'm getting used to, but I'm handling it. They all seem quite lovely. Ah, good to know.
Air comes back after a bit with Samantha's wine. Here you go, sweetie. And she gives her a pat on the back.
Thank you. She will begin sipping.
This can't be any worse than ritualistic goat sacrifices in a church, right? She winks.
No, everything has a silver lining.
And Air can't help but to add this. She kind of looks over at her again and she's like, I heard that they had a really big orgy afterwards, too, in the church.
She turns blood red and coughs while she's drinking.
And Air just kind of winks at her with a quiet chuckle. And goes back to Veronica. Well, job there is done.
Excellent.
Person.
I had to tease her a little. I wonder if she bought what I told her.
Veronica
Well,
just looks at Air and smirks. Packlings, we could see where this goes. They can't really do anything. No one could really hurt each other here.
I mean, if you really want to, that's fine. No one's gonna stop you.
All right.
Air's
Veronica,
kind of looking her over.
Veronica lets the person join. Detective.
Marty looks and he says, I thought we were discussing cats.
We were discussing how Curiosity killed the cat.
Yes, we were talking about Curiosity killing cats and detectives and
then it led to-
Curiosity in all of those realms, I suppose. Quite curious. I drink and I know things.
Out of game, I'm laughing. I'm exploring Amsterdam as an American. Oh, we are pioneers.
Marty looks at both you and he says, I explore Amsterdam as a criminal investigator. And generally, tourists here with no good reason tend to migrate to the top of my list.
I'm sure you've investigated many strange and interesting things.
He looks and he says, usually the investigation is the quick part. The hard part is coming up with a plausible explanation for how you actually found the answer, putting that in a report, and trying to convince everyone they didn't see what they actually saw.
Well then,
He looks at you and then he looks over there and he says, that's true. But you see, our dear seneschal over there, Victor, pays me extraordinarily well to make sure that the average person sees things that don't look like historically accurate Viking homicides or hearts torn out by giant claws, brains cut apart and consumed. Those things don't go well in a police report and cause more questions.
imagine if they do.
It's a movie prop.
Hmm?
It's a movie prop. We just haven't heard from this person. Oh, I see what you did there. Shooting a new movie.
Ha 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 ha.
Why worship the sun and the moon when you could have the sun and the moon yourself? We just tell everyone else to get off set. And then you could tell everyone get off the crime scene. That's on the set. Exactly.
Crime scene is the set.
The mention of people torn apart by claws, Opal will sidle on over. Are the death bears a problem here too?
Death bears.
Wait, what?
You know, I've heard of people fucking bears, but I've never heard of death bears.
Samantha
Oh, God.
calls.
Oh yeah. Oh God. Yeah. They were. So I thought they were an urban legend. I thought they were just a New York City urban legend.
Bears in New York City.
See, I thought they were just an urban legend, right? That they were these big bears that got loose in the city, tore stuff up. I figured, it was one of us, and the death bears was the urban legend. No, they are 9 feet tall, furry, long, sharp claws, slaver. Most of the time, they just they just look like regular people. See, Chrissy, you like they're a huge problem over in America.
So I'm hearing there are giant bears that set things on fire randomly.
They sound intriguing.
There was an attack at a concert once. They ripped people apart. One of them looked right at me. I ran. I thought for sure it was gonna follow me, but I don't know. I guess they can't fit in elevators.
Well, it seems like it'd be quite a tight spot for a huge bear.
That would also get a lot of attention.
No, I've seen them in the fall and winter too. I don't know. Maybe they're just maybe the ones I see in fall and winter are just like hungry, and that's why they're so violent.
Maybe, I mean, when I get hungry, I get kind of grumpy. I can see it. Why would the bear?
How long have these death bear stories been going on? This is
I want to say the first thing I heard about it was in like 2012 or 2013.
Okay, so like
It was a headline in the Times. I wasn't in the city at the time. I was in the Hamptons.
Air kind of looks at Veronica because she's like, I don't know what that means. Like she obviously knows what New York City is, but who are the Hamptons?
It's a vacation spot. Mostly rich people.
Wait. So are the Hamptons rich people or is it a vacation spot?
Both.
Interesting. Never heard of them until now.
Oh, Senior Seneca, what was the name of that person in December? That with the heart and the freezing and the sword to the head? I forget his name.
He looks and he says, "To be honest, I can't keep track of which one we're referring to.
There was
We
like a
watched
Manas. It has some M name, like it sounds almost French, but like German. It's like Magnificent Seven or something. I don't know. The prince seemed to think it was important, so
I guess I would have to check with him to figure out which one you're referring to. Last I know, he decided it was appropriate to tear apart a couple of members of the court and bite their heads off because they did not follow his laws, which I will add is a remarkably effective enforcement policy because it guarantees there is no reoccurrence of the issue by that individual. It sends a very clear message.
Bear can't help chuckling over hearing that.
no. This was the with the frozen. He stuck his hand in his chest, and ripped out his heart. He's made the whole place freeze. It was the werewolf.
I I know he's got a number of family disputes on that front.
Eric,
So I imagine it was related to that.
"Ugh."
Miranda's gonna yell over at Air. It was somebody that he does not like. Somebody in the family from that he does not like.
I'm sure it was.
And Victor will look over to the new vampires, Glenn, Opal, and Chrissy, and say, it will take some getting used to. I'm sure in your experience, you've had some contact, but living in a city ran by a centuries-old gangrel prince, things get a lot more medieval.
I'm getting that sense from what you guys have been talking about. You mentioned that they disobeyed. What kind of law did they disobey? Just out of curiosity.
Well, we had a couple of them that decided they were going to turn human children into vampires. For a number of reasons, that's a prohibited activity. And they did it not once, but repeatedly.
Next
Eric
time, if
kind
he
of
needs help burying the bodies,
Eric
me
kind
know.
of says under his breath, I can see that Ethan Gunner off.
He Victor lowers his voice and he says, I don't know that there's much in the way of bodies left when Prince Gunnar takes it upon himself to correct certain behaviors.
Well, I don't think I can blame him for that. If he needs help next time.
I'm sure he will be appreciative of the offer. You know, the bigger uh, key at this point is to make sure that we have people who take the time to understand the laws and their reasons and follow them.
Gwen nods.
Opal will nod as well. Just not. Just like a little. Yep.
Yeah, pretty new. Thank you. I take the card. Yeah.
Opal smiles at Chrissy.
All right, guys, I gotta scoot.
Good night.
Good night.
Pack link to Air. Do you think we should ask the detective maybe on ideas about the people that are missing? She says in pack link.
What are the packling? Which people?
our people, the kinfolk.
I'm
We don't
not,
have to say the kinfolk part out loud, but
I'm not sure he'd know anything.
or at least know some areas maybe. Amsterdam's bigger than it's very vast.
I mean, those are where the pack link. The last that I knew of vampires having their hands on any kinfolk were those what did he call themselves? They called themselves the followers of Set, the snake people. That was the last I heard of anything, and pretty sure between from what we did, we pretty much nipped that in the butt. But as far as that goes, I really don't think um, Gunner's gonna let people that actually work with him do that, unless they're Magnuson.
So Veronica mentions when hearing about Gunner removing people by like how he removes them, it's like, well, sounds like there are no snakes in the grass with someone like that around.
Sometimes they're quite obvious.
Why does this sound like a St. Patrick's story? No, it does not.
Even a rattlesnake will warn you before even a rattlesnake will reveal itself before it gets too close to strike.
The anaconda will not though. See, it will wait until you are distracted and then jump onto you and crush you to death.
Yeah, but anacondas eat you, and rattlesnakes, not really. They just poison you.
Victor kind of looks at you and he kind of gestures towards the door and he goes, "What exactly is it you think we do? I mean, yes, we're not poisoning, but by definition,
Eh, dead stars to fuel themselves somehow. Personally, my drink of choice is bourbon. And she'll drink from her glass.
the seneschal will look around and say, well, if you'd like, I can notify the prince of your presence so you can be considered formally announced. We wouldn't want the scourge to mistake you for a foreigner to the city."
Thank you ever so much. You've been absolutely delightful.
Yeah, that would be great. I suppose I should meet him eventually.
Yes, certainly an in-person meeting is always valuable as well. However, in the interim, it will be good to make sure him and Jules are aware you're present. Jules is our excessively uh, zealous scourge.
Oh boy.
Well, we wouldn't want to upset him now, would we? To give a little nervous, like, oh no, smile.
I commend a person who has passion for their job, but yeah, would not want to piss them off.
So, do any of you dance? I know Opa does, but do any of the rest of you? Tall, dark, and handsome.
Veronica just smirks. Usually don't get the opportunity to dance too often.
Depends how much I drink.
I mean, that's
Like-
not a no. Should smile playfully.
Need to not be able to remember it.
Oh, that's half the fun, is remembering how silly you look.
I mean, well, in all fairness, with my luck, somebody is recording anyway. It'll be some weird internet sensation.
I mean, I could see that as a win, really.
I mean, all things considered, it's much better than being an internet sensation because, your tits fell out of your top at a boxing match.
But yes, I do dance occasionally. Whether it's at places casual or formal, but they're very rare. It's on occasions.
Wow. Just nods. I'll keep that in mind. What about you, Gwen? Do you dance?
Not very well, but a little.
Ah. And
Surely you're better than I am.
They don't exactly. It's not exactly a core value they teach us in America. But
but they do teach you swing, though, right?
they
You know,
do.
swing dance. Oh, well
Little
then.
bit.
Yeah, a lot of places. Swing dancing. Wow, that's come back into popularity yet again.
Yeah. Well, it's easy. Easiest when I'm told.
Oh, it's like floating. Do you want to try?
Oh boy.
She's just up in the air, you know, up out of the chair. Oh, come on, it's not that bad. You know, she reached down to grab her hands.
All right.
Just just watch her feet and try to let her guide you where she wants to go.
Okay.
Yeah, when you look over, Chris, she gives the bright smile. It'll be lovely. Just don't think. And if you look
Okay.
silly, well, then just flip them off. You'll be fine. Yeah,
All
gives
right.
her a shrug of her shoulders. I'll roll my dex performance.
Dex and performance.
Yeah, I'll even drop some blood to make myself more fancy.
Oh boy. Right.
Victor will stand up and he says, well, I suppose I should go and inform the prince and our zealous security of your presence. And I would hate to push Wim too far in one night. Takes all the fun of it if he's too pissed to come back for another round.
Add a character who won the bag of coins.
I assumed he was going to. You guys would end up splitting all of them at some point, which will give each of you a extra dot of resources for 1 month.
Sure. I won't say no to that.
Oh, no, that's great.
But yeah, I got 5 successes, so I put the fucking what Chrissy takes poor Gren on in that in the main chat there, the Facebook chat.
I had 2 successes.
Yeah, no, Chrissy takes you on a ride. She's very good, very talented.
Well, I don't step on your feet.
Oh no.
Definitely having a good time.
Just it's all about what you want to do. And remember, if they're looking at you laughing, well then just dance even faster.
Fair enough.
Just float you back like a fucking fairy princess. Then kind of sit you back down in the chair, like, oh, perfect. And just plonk herself down, back again, right beside Veronica as well, with the hat on her head. Puts her feet up on the table.
Thank you, Christy. That was lovely.
You're welcome. I always do like dancing. Give it a wink.
Definitely, I'm going to enjoy it more from now on.
Oh, you two are adorable.
What about you, Ear? Do you dance?
Not really.
Oh, that's
Unless
a
alcohol
shame.
is heavily involved,
Mm.
like I said earlier.
You definitely got the frame for it.
It's more of a drunk flailing with feet moving. If you want me to be completely honest.
I mean, you won't know till you give it a try.
Opal, come on. Like, it won't be.
She's like,
I'll keep it
haven't had
simple.
enough whiskey for that yet.
If an elf like me can go out there and somehow dance okay, you've got no problem.
Come on, I'll keep it simple. We do a waltz. Slower. Not as many steps to remember.
Simple.
You could always do the tango. It's far more romantic.
Mm.
God, I
Yeah,
love
but it's
watching
a
the
little
tango.
too
None
fast.
of that sounds simple to me.
I wish I could dance the tango. That is, whew.
Oh, I can teach.
Another time.
Here, take my card. And Opal will reach into her bag, pull out a business card, and just tuck it behind Gwen's ear.
Thanks.
It's got her name, Opal Rashida, and her number. She underneath it says dance instructor, private performances available, and inquiries and her phone number.
Oh shit, you weren't kidding. You can teach.
Yeah, I don't really have a proper studio just yet, so I'm just teaching out of my apartment.
I can do with what you got. I can respect that.
She's not. So what about you? You managing to hold down a job okay? Or have you not found your niche yet?
Me?
Yeah.
I work part-time. I wasn't turned that long ago. I'm still managing to keep the job I had before I was embraced. Social justice. Little social justice program. You wouldn't know it. It's pretty small. I run a blog.
Oh.
Oh, you're a blogger.
I run their social media and a blog, I guess. But yeah.
As long as you're getting paid and not in exposure.
Oh god,
Good
no.
to you.
I would punch someone if they then said to me, "Oh, it's your payments and exposure." Nope. 100% would dick.
Someone asked me to work for exposure once. I asked if theirs or mine.
You all seem like really nice fellows.
I'm a little creepy sometimes, but
I mean, considering our situation.
it's sweet of you to say, but I know what I am and I own it.
Fair enough.
We all do.
I'm working on that. It's an adjustment, but I'm working on it.
So does your blogging take you out to any of the nightclubs then?
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh, perfect. You should stop by ones that I do event planning for.
Yeah.
I-
Definitely make a point of it.
You like the Hive. That's the one I mainly do it in. It's see that licks her lips almost like dervishly. Exotic.
Sounds interesting.
Oh well, you know. You do what you can to get paid. And you make sure that everybody else is satisfied. So it's all part of the flow.
I suppose.
Hair kind of just like glances at Veronica for a moment.
Did you get a chance to check out any of the cafes yet?
No.
Oh, I found this cute little one that's open all night.
Really?
Hmm.
Huh. I'll keep that in mind.
You should come with me sometime. We could get coffee and talk business.
Chris will do much like the expression in the GIF, the wow, yeah, that'd be great. You know what I mean? It's so fucking fake. And just such a polite smile. We should totally do that. I should wink over at Veronica, knowing that Veronica seems to love to take the piss out of Chrissy's like, wow accent.
Veronica just shoots the side glare.
Do you want me to leave my number for you, Tall, Dark, and Handsome?
I already have somebody.
Oh, not like that. Just waves her hand. Psh, you're not my type anyway, so don't worry about it.
Oh, I suspect you're more mine, but if you already have someone, well, it's not really a fair competition.
Unless it's a three-way. Then it's a
Still not
battlefield.
really a fair competition.
Well then. That went an interesting interesting way of sideways real quick.
Oh, I don't participate in infidelity. Grew up around enough of it to suit me for a lifetime.
That's unfortunate.
Mm. Not that I was home very often, mind you, but when I was, well, it's almost like my parents were too busy fucking not each other to notice.
I. Ooh.
Mm.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Not everyone can have a happy home life, unfortunately.
You know, that's what happens when two people who don't love each other marry and don't have the good sense to get a divorce. They stay together, hate each other, and create a home where, and a family that is just incapable of loving anything or anyone.
Ouch. Yeah.
Just decidedly sips her drink, listening to everybody, like talk about all this, and she just blinks and listens. Doesn't really participate. She's just, curious, with always this, like, oh, really? Tell me more about that. Smile.
I thought mine just up and disappearing was bad. Sorry.
I had a good nanny when I was little, but you know, there's no sense in keeping on a nanny when you're off to boarding school.
Oof.
Ooh.
Oh no, boarding schools were great. Boarding schools where I found my passion.
What's your passion?
Painting.
An artist.
Mm. Yes, I am an artiste. I paint, I dance.
Veronica perks up hearing this.
On occasion, with enough alcohol in my system, I have been known to attempt to sing. The-
I think we've all tried that after one too many.
It's the one thing I'm not that great in, but well, if you ever want to hear me try, just order me a round of tequila shots.
Miranda orders a red
Miranda.
tequila shots.
Well, Miranda, you heard the woman.
Tequila for everybody. See.
Veronica gets another virgin daiquiri.
Hey, Veronica,
Hmm.
actually, roll me perception alertness.
Let me see what my alertness is. Any diff or standard?
Just standard.
Four successes?
Oh yeah, you definitely notice. Opal is watching your drink get made.
She's watching me drink.
No, she's watching your drink get made.
She's watching the bartender mix it.
Oh, okay. Got it. Shallords, you're always paranoid. Yeah, she'll notice that this is a non-alcoholic drink.
She just nods approvingly that, you are getting what you ordered. And goes back to chatting with Chrissy.
Oh, yeah,
So,
Chris, for the most part, was just watching everybody. She hasn't participated in share our life stories. She's just watching.
so what's the most famous death bear story from your area? I'm curious.
Oh, she takes like a sip of whatever, like take a knockback, a shot of tequila or whatever is thrown in front of her, like licks her lips. There was that one about people going missing up in like Surrey Hills or something.
Like there was a big party, and next thing you know, like over about 20 people just vanished. Just poof, gone.
It's a
People
lot
said
of
they saw.
people disappear.
Yeah, yeah. They there's some big rave or something that happened. And next thing you know, they all just came out of the wood and poof, gone.
So the one that was most famous where I'm from, there was some high society function at a manor with, like a greenhouse, a conservatory built on. And one of those things climbed up the side and the building and jumped in through the glass ceiling.
Hmm.
Totally unscathed.
Death bears.
Death bears.
Mind if I ask what they are?
Gigantic, big bears of death. About 9 foot tall, really furry, lots of razor sharp claws and teeth.
Supernatural or
Not.
Absolutely. But they don't look like that all the time.
No, they start off as human, then they just like metamorph or some shit, like Power Rangers.
Whew. Takes another drink. Fuck, what is this world coming to?
I don't know.
I mean, strange, interesting world, isn't it? So many things exist that you wouldn't think do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fairies are real too, apparently.
Ah.
Oh,
Oh. Had experiences with them?
no, I just don't trust anything that's. I don't know. Just rubs me the wrong way.
Ah.
They're most of the ones I met were all right.
You've met them.
Yeah, back where I used to live. Dated a couple of them for a while. But well, that didn't work out so good. And you can see Opal just grabs 2 shots of tequila and downs them.
I would say not.
Probably for the better.
The 2 empty glasses of tequila.
I think I now remembering some of these death bear stories. In America, I think I heard a story where there was someone in a library. They were reading a book, doing some historical study, some kids, and they tried to escape by one of the fire exits. One got decapitated, and then the other one, they found his body by the pencil sharpener.
Damn.
I've never heard of them actually decapitating anybody. Usually it's just mauled corpses and property damage.
That's interesting, though. You should say decapitated. And if that's the MO.
Ah.
Maybe
Sorry.
you got a lucky shot.
Whiskey makes me philosophical.
You should try Xanax. It'll make you downright Aristotle, brother.
Put it on my bucket list.
Give like this giggle. I could get it for you if you like.
I'll see, maybe one of these days.
Find whatever you want.
Heroin's what makes me philosophical.
And cocaine is just fun. Fun.
Oh, cocaine is. Sometimes I swear when I'm on cocaine, I can actually break the sound barrier.
Break the sound barrier, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Just don't get angry. She's like boop Noble on the nose.
Oh. No. That's cocaine's not something you do where you can get angry.
Oof.
That's what heroin's for.
For angry people?
Mm. It chills you out, keeps your temper in check.
Just lean into her. Makes you dopey. Just gives a sage nod, conspiratorially.
You should try it sometime.
I have enough anger issues.
I mean, if you have anger issues, yeah, you should definitely try heroin sometime.
No.
Or you could just try LSD and just fly away.
That's actually not a bad idea.
So which is your poison then, aside from the whiskey then? Air. Which drug? Curious.
Come on. I just tend to like that whiskey, maybe some mead, nothing too crazy.
Mead. You make it yourself?
No.
Mead is wonderful.
It is.
It is delicious. Yep. I like to be able to snap out of my buzz quickly if need be.
I guess I can understand that.
Yeah. These things that last for a while don't really work for me.
Wow. Christmas on up. I am definitely famished, so it was lovely meeting you all.
Now, are you going to have a bite?
Yeah, there's like a food place down the way. I'm gonna investigate it.
It was,
Licks her lips.
it's lovely.
Enjoy your food place.
Oh, it's the best. Absolutely the best. So
I'll,
many diverse
I'm
topics.
sure it is.
Oh, she come sometime. They'd love you. She winks as she slides by.
I'll stop by your club sometime.
Oh, please do. Yeah. It's free in for those who are. Just say you know me, and it's free in. Just a little playful finger wave.
As you guys are kind of discussing that, Marty says, "You guys, you guys got your phones handy? I can send you a convenient map I put together on Google of whose territory is whose and whose is public."
Oh, that'd be lovely. Thank
Yeah.
you.
That's a good idea.
Sure.
More importantly, I get to remind that wise ass Victor that he overlooked that before he left.
What a silly man.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I am all for poking fun at the stodgy old art historian. But what goes around comes around. And sometimes Victor likes to forget that he can be the target too once in a while.
Get him away from me.
And he sends you guys a Google map overlay of territories.
This is really helpful. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
He also includes contact numbers for the heads of your clans.
That's good to know.
Kind enough to mention them.
I doubt he gives me those.
No, you do not get much of anything, unfortunately. He will give you his number should you ever need his services. He has a card.
Okay, that is good to know.
Well, I think it's about time I start hitting that dusty old trail, as some of us Americans say. It was lovely meeting you all. I'll have to be sure to stop by again.
It
To
was
see you
lovely
around.
meeting you too.
Okay.
Have a lovely evening, everyone.
Thank you. You too.
Suspect the prince will help
Buenos
start
noches,
keeping
chica.
up as well.
Yeah. Have a good night.
And Marty kind of nods and bids you a good evening.
Gwen nods back as she exits.
Well, Veronica, what do you think?
This is an interesting place, as well as the different crowds. Something I can get used to.
It's definitely interesting to hear things from another perspective.
It is. She mentions through Packlink. I wonder what they're talking with the Death Bears, if they're talking about Garu or something else. They didn't catch that Happy Tree reference, though.
Over the pack link. Well, I mean, I guess in war form, we kind of might look like a bear.
Could be.
No, no. Only they know for sure, I suppose.
I'm gonna keep my eye on this place.
Good call. Good call. I'm,
Miranda's just playing with her gold coins, looking at them.
Veronica looks at the gold coins and whistles at Miranda's pile that she won. Well played.
She's got some loot.
See, it has been a very productive evening. I know one of these days I will remember that man's name. It really did sound like Magnificent Seven or something.
Magnificent Seven.
See, that was his name. It was like,
Over the back, link to Veronica. Magnificent Seven. You don't say.
It sounds like a movie. And she says in the pack link.
no, it was really, it was something. Magnum Sun.
That sounds like a condom.
Pretty
That will
sure
be
it
a
is.
Magnum. See, I'm glad I do not have to worry about that anymore. It was It was not French, but it kind of sounded like the magnifique thing of the French, but it's not right. It was more Germany sounding. Magni.
Chuckles at that and he says, well, if it was German sounding, you have to say it through your nose and sound like you're trying to spit while you say it.
I don't know. I do not know how to do that. Magnet. See? Something like that. That almost sounded right, actually. Magnet. See, that's. Maybe that is why I have not been able to say it. Do you know anybody by that name?
Magnificent Seven?
No, the one that I said when I was speaking it like the German.
Repeat that. Try again.
Magnussen. It's something like that.
Mm.
I don't know, but he was a werewolf, and the spirit is talk to me afterwards because he did the bad things with the women and children.
What?
Excuse me?
See, there was. She's kind of a motherly spirit, but she has a shotgun and a sword, and she's very protective of women and children. I think it has to do because this man was bad to the women and children in his puppets. But you see, that was the brain of the werewolf that I ate.
Well, it's a good thing he's dead then.
Oh, sí, muy bien.
I agree.
Yeah.
Marty stands up and he says, well, on the topic of eating, I suppose I should do so as well, and since I don't see any convenient werewolf brains being served.
Air's like, Air just kind of like pauses and looks around, just like, oh, fuck. Fuck that.
I know that Air is a magicy person. What kind of a supernatural are you, Miss Veronica?
One of a kind, she smirks.
She's definitely not lying about that. She is one of a kind.
Opal chuckles. Well, I guess if everyone's leaving to go get food, I'll go see what's on the menu.
And Marty will look at Opal and say, "You may want to head down to the Paradiso nightclub. It's one of your clanmates runs that, and he's got a hell of an operation."
The Paradiso. I'll stop in. Sounds like the kind of place that would cater to my tastes.
I imagine it would.
Well, it was lovely meeting you all. I assure it was far more lovely to meet you all for me than it was for all of you, any of you, to meet me. Then Opal will take her leave.
Enjoy your evening.
Enjoy.
Buenos tardes.
Errol kind of glance at Veronica. What do you think? Are you hungry?
Yeah, we should get something to eat.
I think we can hunt something down. She kind of winks at Veronica.
Yes.
We're going hunting, remember. There are those wolves out in the forest, and they like to eat peoples. They're very dangerous. Be very careful.
We'll be very careful. Thank you for reminding me, Miranda. I almost forgot.
I am glad that as an American there are some nice people like you.
I am from San Diego. It's barely American. It's
Oh,
more
I apologize. It's the accent. Sorry, you cut out. I didn't hear what you said, if you said anything.
nope, she just stopped talking.
Alright.
What are you in the mood for?
Some type of meat that's bloody and near rare.
All right.
Maybe that diner has something. She just winks.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah. Pack Link, we could do regular hunting. They don't need to know what we're really doing.
A little back link. Exactly what I was thinking. Well, on that note, Miranda, I'm gonna go help Veronica find a nice bloody morsel.
Miranda gives Veronica a weird look, like she's trying to gauge what kind of unique creature she is. Buenas noches.
Have a good
Enjoy
evening.
your food.
Thank you.
Randall then pack up her gold into her purse, her big purse, and head out.
All right. As everybody's wrapping up. Looks like a lot of the other folks are kind of starting to disperse as well. Couple of handshakes for those who maybe passed a lot more money from the proprietor, and thanks everyone for coming, and we will wrap it up there for everyone unless there's anything else you guys need to do. Otherwise we can take private stuff to Blue Books.
Nope, I'm good ending it.
All right. Well, then this has been another episode of Nightfall in Amsterdam. In this case, the visit to the Sunken Norwegian Theater. Thank you, players, for playing, and watchers